Okay, welcome back. This is Palmore Institute's senior level speaking class, the lesson 4, unit number 1. And this is the second part of the video. Now, in the first part, we looked at a reading passage which introduced the topic and some vocabulary. Normally, you'll be doing that at home as part of your homework. But on the next page, this is page 11, there'll be a chance for you to do some speaking in class. Now, if you take a look at this page, you'll see in the second half of the page, the bottom half, there's a section called Think About the Issue. This is, again, page 11. And you'll see pictures of 3 people. They're giving their opinions on the same topic that we read about back on page 10. And what I'd like to do in this video is take a look at one of the opinions and we'll talk about it. Well, in this case, I'm going to be doing all the talking, but in our regular lessons, you would be doing most of the talking here. So what I'll do is I'll share my answer to this question with you, and then you can get some feedback. Well, actually, I'll be giving feedback about what I said. It's a little unusual, but normally I'd be giving feedback to you about what you say. Today, I'm going to do some self-feedback, so let's see how that works. Okay, so if you take a look at the question, and it's printed out on the slide, but Iris's comment is that when you meet somebody, when you're meeting people for the first time, you should always be yourself. And if the other people don't like it, that's their problem. The question to discuss is, what do you think about Iris's opinion? Here's my answer. I pretty much agree with what Iris says. I think it's good advice. I think being yourself is, almost always the best policy in life. Life's too short to pretend to be something that you're not. And I think that, acting in your natural way is the best thing to do. Sometimes people are going to like it. Sometimes they won't. But I don't think you should worry about the times that people don't like it. Frankly, if you behave in a false way, people are going to discover that, and they're definitely not going to like that. Life's too short to be worried too much about other people's opinions about whether they like you or not. So, be yourself. That's my answer. Okay, now let's get some feedback on what I said. Okay, so in my answer, I use this phrase, pretty much. I pretty much agree with what Iris says. Let's talk about how to use pretty much. So the meaning of pretty much is that it means that something is almost true, but maybe not completely true. So I guess I'm meaning that I agree with Iris almost completely, but maybe not totally. And here's another example of using pretty much. The example sentence says, I'm pretty much finished with work this week. This sentence happens to be true. I'm almost done with work. Not quite, but I'm looking forward to a nice, relaxing weekend. I think being yourself is, almost always the best policy in life. The best policy. When we say something is the best policy, we mean that this is the best way. This is the best way to do something, the best way to go, the best decision to make. And we have an idiom in English, a very famous one. It says, honesty is the best policy. So it just means that in life, being honest is the best way to go. What do you think? Do you agree? Is honesty always the best policy? And finally, the phrase life's too short. I use this phrase twice in this short answer. Life's too short to pretend to be something that you're not. And life's too short to be worried too much about other people's opinions about whether they like you or not. So be yourself. So when you say that life is too short, what you mean is that life is short and you don't have time to do all the things that you really don't want to do. And so in those two examples, I'm saying that because life is short, you should not pretend to be something that you're not. You shouldn't worry about what other people think too much. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you very much, and I'll be back soon with more videos for our senior speaking class. I hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.